Scorpio, you could be concentrating on your work during this time. I feel like a cycle has completed itself, okay? It has completed itself within you as well on a cellular level and on a molecular, I believe this is what the word is, level. This cycle has closed itself out. So this means that any and all of that energy has been transformed or transmuted for you, okay? So you don't have to worry about whether or not this lesson is going to come back around. What you were doing was safeguarding this lesson. You were not allowing for it to you were not allowing for the lesson to close itself out, to be completed. I feel like you were harboring the lesson, okay? You were carting it with you. You were carrying this lesson as if it was a baby and it needed protection, okay? So there was no solution or no closing out to this lesson or this cycle because you were standing in the way of it. You were enforcing this lesson and also this cycle. I feel as though you were kind of afraid to complete the cycle due to you having to learn a new lesson, to go through another cycle. Like, I fear that you were prolonging this lesson because it was comfortable. It was a place that you could navigate. You knew what could possibly happen in this lesson. So you were not ready to move forward yet. For some of you, you were not ready to move forward yet because you knew that you still needed to learn, okay? You still needed some time with this lesson. And I feel as though you should be celebrated for that because you did not move on prematurely, all right? I feel like you're communicating to yourself a lot better as well, Scorpio. Okay. Also, your timing or your time is getting a lot better. Okay. You're starting to work better with yourself and also your timing. I also feel like since you're closing out this lesson, you have a clearer conscience, right? You can see what's going to happen. You are the ruler of chaos, Scorpio. So you are don't allow chaos to rule you, right? By stepping out of the way of taking ownership of chaos, meaning putting yourself in jeopardy, okay? Dealing with chaos. You are to bring order to chaos, Scorpio, but you are not the savior of chaos, if that makes sense, okay? So what's happening here is that you're shifting gears to realizing that you organize chaos. You just work well with chaos. You're able to see the solution to said chaos, said problems, said situations. Okay, this is the reason why you are such a great helper. Okay, you're learning to back away from taking ownership of chaos. Okay, and not being the one to lay yourself down on the line for chaos and try to bring or be the solution to chaos. Okay, if that makes sense to you. And this is what is helping you to better communicate and work effectively with your own life, with your space and your time, and also what it is that you're needing. I feel like your intuition may have been led astray or off, for some time due to this situation. It has been a while since you felt that closeness to yourself or to whoever it is that you may connect to, okay? So the channeled song that I was getting for you was Love Don't Change. This could be a message that is within you or around you, okay? Meaning that this could be about a partnership. This could be about the love for yourself. This could be about the lesson that you just closed out. This could be about the life that you are wanting to live for yourself, Scorpio. You've been through the worst, okay? If this is a life lesson that you have just closed out for yourself, the lesson is that, you know, you've been through the worst, right? That song is channeled, we've been through the worst, but love don't change, right? You were holding on to that lesson because you knew that it didn't change. You knew what was going to happen. So now that you've closed this lesson out and you've transmuted the situation here for yourself, you're able to see the change. You're ready for the change as well. You're done with it and you're happy about that. Okay, I feel a congratulations coming through. I'm seeing the 6 of Wands as well. I feel like you're going to recognize this on a day-to-day level with yourself. You know, don't look too far ahead. Just look to seeing the progress of that lesson from day to day. Don't get too far down the line or ahead of yourself with that lesson, okay? Also, it is not your life story. That lesson is not your life story, okay? I feel like it was a chant that you put over yourself, where you kept living the lesson over and over again. You were safeguarding it and holding it from change coming in, from the cycle closing out, from solution to come, right? That it became your life story. It was something that you were declaring for yourself, professing over yourself. So don't make the lesson your life story. Is already transformed, is transmuted already. You're not going to see that lesson repeat itself. You're just going to see the wisdom. You're going to see the change that has happened from you learning that lesson, Scorpio. And you should be happy with yourself about that. You should really be happy. Okay, I feel a lot of celebration. I see the 3 of Cups coming in for you. There's a lot of celebration. I also see the 10 of Cups as well. So I'm going to start pulling the cards. Okay, you have a long channeled message here. I see a lot of celebratory energy for yourself. I feel like you're manifesting at a drop of a dime, because your energy on a molecular level here, on a cellular level, right? Your energy has changed from closing out this lesson, from finally learning this lesson, okay? You are representation of change as well, Scorpio. I'm going to get that word right. Molecular. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords and we have the 6 of Cups, and it's in reverse here, okay? The 10 of Swords is upright and the 6 of Cups is reversed, all right? So the past is over with, and the 6 of Cups is your card, Scorpio, alone. It is your card, returning to one's roots. Okay, you finally, this is representation of the heart chakra as well, okay? And we have the 10 of Swords, like I said, this is the root chakra. This is ending defeat. This is Gemini's energy, all right? And this is a no, meaning that you are no longer experiencing this anymore. Okay, you're no longer saying yes to the past as well. It just keeps saying, I keep hearing that over and over and over again, that you are changing on a molecular level here, okay? Like you, your whole entire being, you are, your whole entire being has been burned down to be rebuilt. So we have the Page of Swords that is coming in. My cards were in reverse. So we have the Page of Swords. It feels like it wants to stay in reverse. So this is curiosity here. This is watching, okay? This is delayed news. This is, you having patience. All right, these are ideas, planning. This is being vigilant. This is protective, guarded, energy here. This is fairness. This is thinking before you speak, okay? And not being brought back into certain, lifestyles or certain situations that you were in before, okay? These are things that you're no longer going to be putting yourself in the position to be in anymore. You've learned that lesson. You're no longer curious about it. You're no longer, I would say you're no longer comfortable with, being uncomfortable in that way. I feel like you are, it makes your skin crawl to think about, even though you have accepted it, it makes your skin crawl to think about, like, gosh, I just put myself through that. Is that what I really put myself through? You're able to see it clearly now, okay? And you're like, did I really put myself through that? You did, okay? You're at this, acceptance stage of it where you're transitioning. You've already transitioned, but some of you may be in the transitioning phase and you have accepted it, or you're in acceptance of it at the moment by taking a look at it, a brief look at it, and moving forward. You're no longer attaching yourself, to the situation, okay? They're like showing me what is those things that be at the bottom of the boat? Or they attach themselves to, like, sea life or sea animals and things in nature. I forgot what they're called, but I believe it's a sea urchin or something like that. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it's like you're no longer attaching yourself to, to these floating things that just have no ending to them, okay? You're not a buoy out there in the middle of the ocean anymore, and you're just floating, in the sea of uncertainty anymore, because you were curious. You're no longer a sitting duck, for everything that's moving around you. Everything is happening around you. You're no longer a sitting duck anymore. You have your own movement. You have your own progress moving forward. All right. I feel like you were in this place of, stagnancy for some of you, due to depending on being the solution for others, putting your life on hold, maybe caring too much or attaching yourself to situations, or putting yourself, or feeling as though you were in the boat with certain people and you're finding out now that you really weren't, okay? I feel like you're waking up like the spell is over with, okay? Your eyes are fully focused now, and you're like, hey, I was really out here. Like, I was really experiencing this. This is what I really, attached myself to. And the reason why you did it in good faith, you did it because you will lay down yourself. You will put yourself in the way for others that you love. Truly, you love very fiercely, Scorpio, and that's very honorable of you. It's a very, noble thing to do. But You do not do it at your expense, Scorpio. Okay? All right, tell me more for Scorpio. The 10 of Cups I just saw. Tell me more for Scorpio. So we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in. I feel like we have a route here. Okay, routine, route. Okay, with the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like progress is moving forward. I feel like like I said, you're no longer moving slowly anymore. Things are starting to pick up for you. So you're going to be extremely busy. This is going to be a very busy season for you. You're isolating yourself to focus on what you need to focus on. For some of you, you have people that are watching you and they're like, how is Scorpio able to do all of these things when they were just under all of this pressure? So you had people know that you were under pressure here, okay? They were watching you be under strain and under pressure. They watched you, they watched your boat continue to capsize to no avail, to no help at all right? Because they felt like you deserved that. They felt like you wanted to be a part of that. That's what you chose. It could be family members that say, hey, that's what, Scorpio chose. That's what they wanted. They wanted their existence to be that way. So they felt no type of way about it. For some of you, you have a smug, significant other or some smug character here that you may have, been intimate with before, that knew what they were doing. They knew what you were experiencing and they didn't care. Okay. Tell me more for Scorpio. But things are moving forward here. Okay. I feel like Scorpio, your intuition is leading you. You have the moon that's coming. I feel like your intuition is leading you. I also feel like you're very mysterious during this time. I feel like nobody knows truly what your intentions are, but they do know that something is brewing. Nobody knows what you're about to do, but they do know something is brewing. Okay, they know you. They know that you are always going to prevail. You're going to come out on top. Okay. Something has been truly learned, though, here. As I said, Scorpio, you truly learned something. You truly came out as the Knight here. And there's nothing wrong with being the Knight. The Knight is very responsible, a very practical, loyal being, very patient, kind, protective and defensive being here. Someone that finishes what they start. A very hard worker. They can be extremely stubborn. You are a fixed sign, Scorpio. So this lesson, you were stubborn. You didn't allow it to be transmuted. You didn't allow yourself to have the solution to come to you. Okay. You were loyal to this lesson here. All right. It was kind of stopping you. I also feel like you could have, projected evil eye, people that are curious about you. They wonder about you. They wonder, like, what is really truly going on with you? Like, what's going on in your head? Like, what are you so focused on? What are you so determined about? You have an elder here that is hoping that you're determined to turn your life around. All right. They're hoping and praying for you that things get better. You have an elder that is praying for you. You also have a mother figure that's watching from the other side. It may not be a mother here or be your mother here, but there is a parental figure here that's on the other side. Okay, someone could be a past or loved one, could be in the army as well, or could have been in the army. All right, or been a captain or a leader in the army is what I'm saying. Also could have been Navy, a veteran, okay, a grandpa is what I'm seeing. All right, he's showing me all of his badges and things of that nature. And he's also showing me a trumpet. Okay. Someone could have fought in Vietnam as well. We have the 10 of Wands, and it's coming up in reverse. Okay. So like I said, you know, you have people watching here. These are burdens. All right. These are problems. This is being bound to a situation. Okay. It's almost like, you know, you felt like this was your fate. You felt like you felt very defeated and depleted in this energy. All right. You felt bound to the situation. This is why you held on to whatever this cycle was for you for so long, because you felt bound to. You felt like it was your responsibility. You felt like this was your, it was your feat here. Insurmountable problems. Like I said, you're coming out of this. This is a complete turnaround for you here, Scorpio. I feel like you're dropping. Yeah, we have the 5 of Pentacles here. You're dropping things where you pick them up. All right, you're just dropping things. I see you just dropping. It's like coming home and, you know, getting out of all of your stuff. You're wherever wherever it lands, it lands. This is what I see you doing with, you know, problems. I see that you're getting help. This is assisted help as well, coming in to lay down these burdens. You have a destiny that's unfulfilled here for yourself. You have the 8 of Cups here that is coming in. Okay. This is moving on. It wanted to come up invertedly, but I don't take too many inverted cards. So I'm going to flip them as the energy needs to be. All right. I'm going to read it upside. I'm going to read it reverse or upright. It doesn't matter. The energy is going to come to me. I'm that type of reader where I can see both sides of the situation here. Okay. So like I said, you know, we have the 8 of Cups with moving on here. You're abandoned. Like I said, I saw you coming in the house and just stripping off. You know, like I said, you're receiving the assistance for yourself. You're abandoning things exactly where it is. All right. For some of you, you're right in the heart of, you know, this experience, this transformation that's happening for you, this cycle closing out. You could be in the middle of a job. You know, you could have just started a job. You could be in the middle of a job and something just clicks for you and say, hey, this is not for me. You're not worried about how you're going to make it. You're not worried about what anyone is going to say. This could be in a relationship. You could simply just leave, pick up and leave right out of a relationship. You know, and people may wonder, like, what's going on? For some of you, they're going to say, hey, that's what Scorpio does. And they feel like, you know, you may come right back where they feel like, you know, this is, for some of you, they know this is the end, but I feel like for a lot of people, they don't know. They can't quite tell whether or not this is, you know, a real transformation or not. People feel like they know you. Okay, I feel like you're showing them different. Yeah, we have the 2 of Wands coming in. It wanted to come up invertedly here. Like I said, people feel like you're, you know, people feel like this is not a true change for you. All right, this is not just, you know, the change in the wind for you. You can feel a change in the wind coming in. You could feel, you know, this impatient energy as well. You could be in fear a little bit. You could have a little bit of anxiety, and you could be worried. You know, for a lot of you, I feel like you're not. You could be, you know, antsy. You could feel your feet moving. You could feel the earth moving beneath you. You could feel, you know, life changing and your existence changing right before you. You could be having sleepless nights. You could be unrested or unwell, is what I'm getting as well, Scorpio. You could feel defeated in yourself because things are changing. For some of you, like I said, this is past tense. And for others of you, this is what you're experiencing now. For some of you, you could be looking forward to experiencing these things, and this is how you're going to know, that there's a transformation. There's I feel like the eclipse, the moon is coming out. So I feel like round about the eclipse that we're going to have in September, okay, and we're also going to have the Virgo moon. We just had the Virgo black moon. Right now we're going to have the Virgo full moon, and we're also going to have an eclipse here. So I feel like you could be around that time. This is when you could be experiencing this. For some of you, I feel like you're experiencing this now, so that when the eclipse does come, the new is coming in, the new you, the new experience, the new transition, the new scenery. So Scorpios, there are some of you that are in the heart of it. There are some of you that have not begun it yet. There's some of you that is getting this feeling or this urge or this inner knowing. There are some of you that this is already behind you, and this is a backstory for you, and you're watching, or you're about to receive here. Let's see. What is the moon? So we have the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords that's coming in. Okay, we have mental activity here for you. Okay, for some of you, you could be planning, like I said, you could be planning. For others of you that are already past this already, you could be planning what your new opportunity is for you. Have big changes, opportunities, seizing the moment. Okay, jumping in, arrival, departure, asserting yourself. Okay, being direct and honest, being extremely light on your feet here, Scorpio. Using your mind. Okay, rebelling against repeating cycles, or being in the same stagnant energy, or being around the same scenery. You are determined to experience something new. All right. So for that grandmother, or that passed on loved one, or for that person that is praying for your elder here, that is praying for you, that you are determined to change here, the answer is here. Their prayers are going to be answered here. Okay. Tell me more for Scorpio. So we have the, what is this? The Ace of Swords that's coming in with clarity. All right. New ideas, new plans. This is success, victory here. Thinking clear, having mental clarity here. Breakthroughs, ability to concentrate and see your way forward. You could be having a lot of communication back and forth with yourself about, hey, this is what my new job is going to consist of, and being for sure and for certain. You could be writing out your new life for yourself, and things manifesting as you say it or speak it, or as you write it. Things aligning verbatim, word for word. How you write it out, how you are choosing to experience it, because you are determined to experience these things. Have the Hierophant coming in. All right. You're in the guiding seat now. You're no longer in the seat where you're no longer waiting for guidance. You're no longer looking to anyone to help guide your ship or guide your boat, is what I'm seeing here. You're very disciplined as well. You're very forward focused, is what I'm seeing. I also see that you are thinking about how lavish your life is going to be. And I'm talking about in a very practical way, because Scorpio, you rule inheritance. This is the bank here with the Hierophant. So you could be manifesting large lump sums of money. You could be manifesting your life to be extremely comfortable, or to be in a very stable, comfortable position in your life. You could be manifesting your 5 senses, because Taurus represents the 5 senses. It also represents comfortability. It represents luxury. It represents money coming in. It represents being well known with the bank, receiving money coming in, just back-to-back money coming in for yourself, and being able to manifest that for you as well. Also drawing up new contracts for yourself, declaring these new contracts for yourself. Setting new boundaries for yourself as well, Scorpio. I'm going to pull one last card here. So we have the Tower. It wouldn't be a Scorpio reading without the Tower, right? There's some people that's extremely afraid of this shakeup that's happening for yourself. I feel like, you know, you are no longer sitting in the Tower, right? As if you're foreign to what's happening around you. No longer are sitting in the house while the house is burning down, okay? You are recognizing the situation is like, hey, you know, let me get up out of here. You know, like, let me get up out of here. I don't need to be sitting in this house while this house is burning down, because it's nothing that I can do about it. Like I said, you're leaving things. You're in the decision era in your life. You're making those decisions based on what it is that you directly need, Scorpio, not for the greater good of all anymore. Okay, you have your well wishes for everyone. You know, people are still in your prayers. Okay, you're saying to this Tower as well, to the Hierophant, I'm going to pray for you guys, but you know, I can no longer be the scapegoat. I can no longer be the sacrificial lamb. You know, I can no longer attach myself to these situations anymore and be held accountable. I can no longer be in the seat of you blaming me for what's happening in your life. You're no longer allowing yourself to be that anymore. Okay, you're telling people straight up and directly what it is that is going on in their life, and you're positioning yourself back in your purpose in life, which is to reflect other people's towers. You're upright within yourself now, Scorpio. You're showing people where they are fucked up, not where they got you fucked up. You're showing people where they are fucked up in their life. You show people their truths. You show people their fears. You show people their wants. You show people their worries. You know, if they have not accepted these things, you show people, you know, where their life is false, is on a faulty foundation. All right. Anything that is not real cannot exist around you, Scorpio. So you're back in that seat. Okay. Scorpio, I hope these messages, you have the Ace of Cups as your overall energy. I forgot to say that as your overall energy, you have the Ace of Cups here coming in. This is an outpouring of all of what you are expecting, okay, for yourself. These are not these are not hopes, these are not wishes, these are not prayers. You're expecting this to come in for yourself. As I said, you have the Hierophant here. You're sitting in the right position within yourself now. You are sitting upright within yourself now. You are owning your purpose. All right, so you're no longer being the problem. You are reflecting the problem. Okay, new beginnings for yourself, new in romance, happiness, joy. You know, you could be receiving a lot of abundance if this is not fertility or pregnancy for you, is what I'm saying. And like I said, I saw a lot of celebrations for you. And also, you could be socializing with yourself now. All right, like you could be going on a trip and sipping on mimosas with yourself. You're not going to be posting anything because you're going to be enjoying and savoring this retreat for yourself, this treat, you know, your life. You're savoring it because for so long you have been the Tower. Okay, you have been in the Tower, you have not been the Tower, but you have, you know, been in the Tower. You have been the blame for towers happening. So you could be saying, fuck it all, you know, fuck you, fuck it all, and living in the upright position within yourself and owning that, hey, this is just what it is. and I'm going to go live peacefully. Okay? And allowing for everybody to have a shit show, and not just people, but anything else to have a shit show or be the shit show that they wish to experience for some of you. All right, Scorpio, I hope these messages find you guys well. Love, light, peace, darkness, and in between. Namaste.